Remember this sentiment as we navigate each NBA team's early season report card grades. Each squad would be graded on its own unique scale. Bad teams that were expected to be bad would not be judged as harshly as should be good teams that have yet to perform well. Circumstances beyond the organization's control will be accounted for as needed. Any squads that appear to be underachievers will benefit from valid excuses. Almost everything under the sun is up for debate. Individual performances, lineup decisions, play styles, extracurricular distractions and miscues, schedule strength, surprises and disappointments, and other factors all contribute to the final impressions. Recent events will be taken into account, but this is a year-end review. Approximately 1/4 of the season has passed. Teams have enough time to meet, exceed, and yes, fall short of expectations. However, enough basketball has been played for us to pull out the red pen without hesitation and treat the majority of what we've seen thus far as each organization's normal. So, without further ado, let's get started on part 1 of grading every NBA team thus far. First off, we have the Atlanta Hawks, and they get a C-. The Atlanta Hawks' recent wins have helped them avoid a dreadful grade, but we can't forget the stretch in which they lost 8 of 9 games. 500 points before the halfway point is a huge letdown for one of the last year's 2 Eastern Conference Finals participants. They've had plenty of bad nights, but they've also had games where they've just seemed to be floating aimlessly toward nothing. Can the Hawks maintain a top 10 offense while ranking in the bottom 5 in terms of the percentage of their shots that come at the rim and from long range? They should not attempt to find out. In any case, their defense is an even bigger concern. They've dropped to the bottom 5 in terms of points allowed per possession and are allowing opponents to shoot nearly 70% from beyond the arc. That's the league's worst mark. Up next, we have the Brooklyn Nets, and they get a B. Expectations for the Brooklyn Nets must be adjusted as long as Kyrie Irving is not available. They are not championship formalities. Brooklyn should remain one of the league's most dangerous title contenders, even without Kyrie. It has 2 top 10 players, supposedly. James Harden's early season performance has been a letdown. He's improved, but the Nets' reliance on Kevin Durant is unsettling. Even with both megastars in the lineup, they are still a net minus on the season. The solo alpha minutes have gone well. When Harden or KD go alone, Brooklyn destroys opponents. Their time together will continue to improve over time, especially now that Joe Harris has regained his offensive pulse. Blake Griffin might follow suit. The Nets' defense has not been jeopardized by one of the league's most perplexing front court rotations. They're in the top 10 in terms of points allowed per possession and aren't getting bludgeoned on the glass when their opponents miss. Their offensive boarding, on the other hand, is a different story. They need to do a better job of transitioning back into the game. According to Unpredictable, they are dead last in points allowed per possession after committing a turnover. Without Kyrie, contending for a top 3 record in the East is a fool's errand. Up next, we have the Charlotte Hornets, and they get a B. When the Charlotte Hornets are getting pummeled from every angle on defense, it feels like there was a rush to crown them as playoff threat LaMelo Ball's Rookie of the Year detonation. On other nights, this team appears to be an Eastern Conference sleeper, unaffected by PJ Washington's elbow injury or a lackluster center rotation. The Hornets' winning streak, which included victories over Memphis, New York, Golden State, and Washington, does little to ease their outlook. They get those W's without, for the most part, going kaboom on offense. LaMelo is already a top 5 passer and capable shooter, and he appears to be a few pounds of muscle away from improved rim finishing and complete unguardability. With the current personnel, the defense does not appear to be solvable. It held up during the Bridges-Mason-Plumlee minutes, but the Hornets aren't built to win board battles or successfully thwart opponents at the rim and from floater range. They're flawed and entertaining, and they might be good or at least not bad. For the time being, it's a net positive. Up next, we have the Chicago Bulls, and we give them an A. Don't act like you saw the Chicago Bulls coming. You didn't even do it. Even the most upbeat optimists couldn't have predicted that they'd be competing for the best record in the Eastern Conference while supporting a top 7 offense and a top friggin' 5 defense. Meanwhile, all this has occurred without the most convenient accessibility. Patrick Williams played in 5 games before suffering what is believed to be a season-ending injury to his left wrist. Nikola Vucevic has missed time due to the league's health and safety protocols, and he wasn't playing particularly well before being removed from the rotation. It turns out that the Bulls' main additions are true game changers, almost as if good players can do good things. Up next, we have the Cavaliers with an A+++. Hell on earth. Colin Sexton is out with a torn meniscus in his left knee. Prior to his injury, he had yet to find his everyday chi with the Cavaliers' new offensive pecking order. And here's the clincher. Only 2 teams have faced a more difficult schedule to date. While it may appear to be easy to dismiss this as early season noise, doing so is also lazy. Last week, the Cavs held off Boston and Golden State despite the absence of Mobley, Markkanen, Sexton, and Jarrett Allen. The Mobley-Allen frontcourt is a true defensive nightmare. Allen moves quickly and swallows items whole near the rim. In 7-footer form, Mobley is a positionless stopping power. Darius Garland has improved as a passer and a scorer. His floater is genuine. Ricky Rubio brings offensive steadwardship to the table. Cedi Osman is knocking down step-back threes. Regression over the next few weeks appears to be unavoidable. Mobley has already established himself as the Cavs' most valuable player. Perhaps it extends to be beyond his absence. The offense can be sluggish at times too. To date, however, no team has come as bigger of a surprise than the Cleveland Cavaliers. Up next, we have the Detroit Pistons with a C-. The Detroit Pistons' record has little to do with their problems. They are not built to be good. Theirs is pure, unadulterated evil. They have developments to be pleased about if they dig into the details. Killian Hayes is not the complete punchline that Twitter portrays him to be. His offense is a work in progress with a sub 30% on twos and probably includes too much on-ball license, but he's converting over 38% of his threes and playing tough defense. When he's on them, opposing pick-and-roll ball handlers cough up the ball more than 23% of the time, a top 7 mark among 60-plus players who have guaranteed at least 50 such possessions. Cade Cunningham appears to be a game-changer even when he isn't scoring. Stewart warps his shots near the basket and makes more than half of his short and mid-range attempts. Saddiq Bey has made some difficult jumpers as well. Jerami Grant is still overstretched, but he finishes well and hits enough above the break triples. And finally, we have the Golden State Warriors, and we give them an A. With Klay Thompson's return, the Golden State Warriors were expected to enter the championship race. At any point during the season, let alone right out of the gate, no one could guarantee a powerhouse status. The Warriors deserved credit for shattering expectations. They remade their roster on the sly during the offseason, and it's paying off. Andre Iguodala, Nemanja Bjelica, and Otto Porter Jr. have all contributed to the rise. It was a stroke of genius to give the roster spot to the ultra-disruptive Gary Payton II. Golden State's mainstays are also giving it their all. Steph Curry is a top 3 MVP candidate, if not the clear favorite. Draymond Green is the frontrunner of Defensive Player of the Year. Damian Lee is providing valuable minutes for the team. Andrew Wiggins and Jordan Poole are roller coasters with worthwhile highs. Right now, no team in the league is better. Literally. The Warriors have the best defense in the league, the most efficient half-court offense, and the highest winning percentage in the league. They have avoided disaster during non-Steph minutes while also creating opportunities for rookie Jonathan Kuminga and Morris Moody. Consider what they'll be like once Thompson returns. Given how last season played out, the latter could be viewed as a setback, but the point remains. Golden State has re-entered the heavyweight division.
Here's a box score of a recent Warriors game that the Dubs won. Somebody in the starting 5 got 32 points on 50% shooting from three-point range, and someone else dropped 27 points and got to the line 11 times. Here's another box score of another Warriors win. In this one, 2 dudes went absolutely unconscious. I mean, one of them scored 32 points while shooting 6 for 8 from three-point range, and the other dude got 33 points while shooting 8 for 11 from three-point range. My question for you is, in these 2 Golden State Warriors box scores, which one was Curry? Yeah, none of them. The truth of everything is, there are just too many weapons on this Warriors roster for any teams in the league to stop. I mean, teams could either let Steph drop 50 on them, or they could both let Poole and Wiggins drop 30 apiece. Or, Steph is literally so good that he could just be a decoy that opens up easy opportunities for his teammates all game long. And this is what I mean. Here's Steph up top with the ball in his hands. He then passes the ball to JTA. Rubio is guarding JTA, but look at his eyes. He's looking at Steph. JTA notices that and,
Toscano Anderson got a step on Rubio.
That was all generated by the mere presence of Steph. That's how good that dude is.
Well guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to Tip Top Sports, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.